Hello everyone and welcome back to the next part of our GPGS tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at creating and unlocking achievements and all the different things that you can do with it. If this is the first video you're seeing in this tutorial series, I'd recommend going back to part 1 where I talk about authentication and signing you into GPGS, but this tutorial is purely going to cover the achievement portion of it. So in the last tutorial, we set up a automatic sign-in, which will sign us in, as well as a basic sign-in. Now remember that inside of GPGS, you cannot authenticate using the Unity editor, so this will always fail here, but we showed that it worked successfully on our phone before. Just so everyone can keep up with what we're doing in this tutorial, we're basically going to be updating our UI, then we're going to be updating achievements inside of the Play Store. We're then going to re-download those achievements and then write a script which hooks everything up. We'll then publish it to our phone and then we'll test it on our phone to make sure everything works as expected. So we're going to start with adding a new button. I'm just going to duplicate this one here and I'm going to rename it Home Button, and in the text I'll just call that Home Panel. This is going to take us to the next scene once we've signed in. So I'm just going to disable that initially and then we'll enable it once the user authenticates successfully. So to do that, I'll open up Visual Studio. So inside of Visual Studio, we have this method called sign into GPGS. At this point here, we're actually authenticated. So we're gonna show that button when we authenticate. So it'll be show button here. Now I actually prefer to use a game object in this instance. So I'm going to create a game object and I'm just gonna call that home button GO for game object. And the reason why I'm doing that rather than using the button itself is because I can set it to active through here. So that will just make it active. And then when I sign out as well, I'm just going to say home button, set active, back to false. That's all we're really going to be doing inside of this script. The rest will be done inside of a different script, but let's set up the remainder of our scene first. So right now we have the scene that will show up when you first open the game. I'm going to duplicate this twice. So we've got our sign-in panel. We can turn that sign-in panel off now, and we'll turn this other one off for now. I'm going to rename this one Home Panel, and we'll call this one Achievements Panel, because we're going to do that. And I might just name that panel as well, just so we know where we are. Now in this panel, in this Home Panel, I'm pretty much going to get rid of everything out of the scene. We'll keep the Sign Out button, but we might just move this up here and rename this one Achievements. So the Home Panel is basically going to be for all the different elements that we're going to introduce to this inside of the series. The Home Panel will be where you access them from. So for now, it's just going to have achievements and nothing else. And we're going to have to change what this button actually does. So I will add 2 effects. The first one is going to be turning the home panel off. And the second one is going to be enabling my achievements panel. So when we click that, it's going to enable our achievements panel. Now, before we get stuck into setting this UI up, we're going to talk about what type of achievements that you can have, and then we'll create buttons for each of them. So you can have a generic achievement. That's basically just an achievement that doesn't have any steps. It's visible right from the start of the game. And this is pretty much the type of achievement that's like, you successfully signed in, and then it just pops up and gives you an achievement that says you signed in for the first time. The next type of achievement is an incremental achievement. This is one where it will have multiple steps in order to earn the achievement. They're generally worth more points, but that's entirely up to you. But the way that they're used is that the first time you increment it, it might increment, let's say 33%. Then the next time will be 66%, and then it'll be, 100% after that. So it'll have 3 steps in it, and that's what we'll be creating in this video. But you can set any number of steps, and you can set any type of incremental jump that you would like to in there. The next type of achievements are hidden achievements. Hidden achievements exist so that you can hide content from the user. This can be useful in a number of ways. Let's say, for example, that I was going through a game, it's an RPG, and I have to kill 10 bosses. I wouldn't want to let the user know right from the start that there's only 10 bosses in the game. I might have them guessing, and they might only know that the first one exists. And once the user defeats the first boss, I can then reveal that there's another boss that they need to beat. And then that will then pull up into their achievement list and they can see, oh, there's a second boss I need to beat. And then so on, all the way up until 10. And it feels far more rewarding discovering the experience rather than just being given all of the information at the start. So we're going to be creating a hidden generic achievement and then a hidden incremental achievement as well. And then the last parts will just be pulling back some extra information. You can see the list of achievements, you can see some descriptions, and then also showing the achievement window as well. So let's just quickly go through and update some of the information that we have here. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is show achievements. So that's just going to be bringing up the UI. I'm going to call that show achievements button. And we're going to duplicate this one here, drag it down, and we're going to call this one unlock achievement. Duplicate that, drag it over a little bit. We'll call this one here increment achievement. And then we're going to have our hidden ones. So we're going to call this one reveal achievement. And then we'll call this one reveal incremental achievement. We'll just call this one reveal incremental. And we'll drag that down again. And this is going to be unlocking those hidden ones. So we'll have unlock hidden and then unlock incremental as well. Okay. That took a little bit, but we're all set up with what we want here. And then we want to add in a text element to this as well. This is just going to display some logging information for us. Apologies on that panel there. We're going to add a text, and we'll just bring this to right align it and make it much bigger. And we'll maybe make that 52. That should be fine. Center it, and we'll just call this log text. And then we're going to need 2 more buttons, and these buttons are just going to be showing the IDs of, it's basically just going to be a list achievements. And then 1 more that is going to be called list descriptions. And these 2 are just going to be examples of types of information that you can pull back from doing it. Okay, so that's our scene setup. We're now going to jump into our developer console, and I'm just going to jump into our project here. Now in this one, the only thing we're really going to be doing is setting up achievements. Because we've set up the rest of the project correctly already, we don't actually have to do much else in this project. We're going to create our first achievement, and I'm going to call this unlock achievement. This is just going to be a standard achievement. So it's going to be a revealed achievement, and it's not going to be incremental. It's going to give the user 5 points for doing it, and it'll be number 1 on our list because we only have 1 achievement so far. You could also add a picture of what it looks like as well as a description to it, but I'm not going to worry about that in this tutorial. We're going to go back now. You'll see each time it's creating these IDs. These IDs are basically how we're going to be connecting with Google Play Game Services to say which achievements we're unlocking. Create another one. We'll call this one incremental achievement. And this is going to be an incremental one. We'll say that the steps needed are only 3, and we'll leave this the same again. And this time it is revealed as well. And then we're going to create 2 more achievements. They're going to be the same achievements, but they're going to be hidden this time. So we'll create an achievement here. We'll call this hidden unlock achievement. And it's going to be hidden. It's not incremental. 5 points again. And the last one we're going to create is our hidden incremental achievement. And make it incremental. We'll say it needs 3 steps again, and it's hidden again. Now it's quite simple. We've actually set up everything we need to do from a developer console side. The only thing we need to do here is click this Get Resources button, and we are going to copy this Get Resources. We're going to jump back into Unity, and we're going to go Window, Google Play Games, Setup, Android setup, and I'm going to replace what is in here, which was the information we posted in last session. We're going to replace it with our new information, and we're going to hit setup. And it will say Google Play Games configured successfully. And the way that we can check that is we can go into our GPGS IDs. So when it sets it up, it throws it directly on the parent folder. So inside of GPGS IDs, this script here, we should see that we've got our 4 achievements. So it's basically just called it achievement, unlock achievement. And so it prefaces everything with achievement and then just concatenates it all together with underscores, and then just says that that is this ID. So we're going to be using this ID later on to say which achievement that we want to be unlocking. So we're going to jump back into Unity, and this time I'm going to create a new script, a C# script, and we're going to call this achievement. I'm going to drag achievement directly onto our achievement panel, and we'll open that one up in Visual Studio. Now we aren't going to need any of our start or update methods in this one, but we are going to need a few things in here. So we're going to say using Unity Engine.ui, using Unity Engine.social platforms, using Google Play Games, and that will be it. Now the only text element we're going to have is a public text element that we're just going to call log text. And that's going to be a reference to this text that we set up on this side of the screen here, once that loads. So that will be this text here. So I might just drag that in right now. We've got our log text, and that's our log text there. Now we basically just need to create the function that is going to make a call to Google Play Games to say that we've unlocked these achievements, and then create buttons which we're going to attach those functions to. So when we create our functions here, we're basically just going to go in the list of these buttons. So we're going to do our show achievements, then unlock, then incremental. Then we'll do both of our reveals, and then we'll unlock our hidden ones. Then we'll do these list ones over here. So to start with, let's create a public void show achievements UI. And this one is very, very simple. It's just social.showAchievementsUI. Nice and simple. So that will be this button here done. We're now going to do unlock achievement, public void, do grant achievement. And this one is going to take a string of our achievement. So again, we're going to be using social. This time we're going to be using report progress. And inside of report progress, you can see it takes a string for our achievement ID, a double for the progress that we've completed, and then this action bool, which is we'll get into a little bit later, but it's basically we're getting a bool of the success or failure rate of our thing, and then we're performing an action based on that. So the achievement that we're going to be passing in is the achievement that we have. Then we're going to say that our progress is just going to be 100 because we're completing the entire achievement. And then we add in our action called success. So bool success. So when we make our call, this will actually make the achievement unlock, but we then need to check to see if we have actually successfully unlocked it so we can update some of the UI, which in this case is just going to be our log text. So we're going to say if success, which means if success, the bool, is true, then we want to do the following. So we're going to update our log text.text to say that the achievement plus, and we'll give it a space, and we'll just give it the status, so success to string. And then we're going to create an else statement, so when success is false, then we want to say that log text.text is equal to our achievement ID plus, and we're going to put success, which this time here will equate to false. Now, this is kind of redundant code, but if you did want to perform any extra actions, I've just put it in here. So, you know, you'd perform new actions here on success, and you'd perform your new actions here on failure. So at least you can sort of have that callback for if you want to perform actions. You don't necessarily need to have this if statement here if you didn't want to do anything new. And then we're just going to close that one out. So that's all we need to do to unlock an achievement. We're basically going to be using this same code to be doing our reveal achievements, except we're going to be setting this to 0 because that means we've achieved 0 of that achievement, but it will then show up in the list. And we have one extra step in order to do the incremental version. So I'm going to create a public void do incremental achievement. and it's going to take in a string again. We'll call that achievement again. We'll just use the same going forwards. Now you'll find if I wanted to do social.incremental, it just doesn't exist. So what we have to do instead is get a reference to the Google Play Games platform. And I might just call that platform. And it's going to be equal to Play Games platform social.active. Oh, we don't need that. So we're going to get the Play Games platform that is connected to our social active user. And then we are going to say that platform dot, now if we type incremental, you can see that we can get an incremental achievement. And you can see that the steps are basically the same as well. Instead of the progress this time being 100, we're actually passing in an int for the number of steps that we want to complete each time this is called. So we're going to be saying that we want to pass in our achievement again. I'm happy with the steps just being 1 this time. And we're again going to have that bool for success. And then our callback method is just going to be the exact same logging method that we used last time. So I didn't need to add that there. Put a semicolon at the end, and this is the way that we do our incremental achievements now. Now, the beautiful part about doing the reveal achievements is that it's almost the exact same code as this. So we'll copy that one, paste that one down, and this time, instead of doing a 100, we're just going to say do reveal. And that's our reveal achievement done. So right now we've created a way to show the UI. We've created a way to unlock a normal achievement and a way to unlock an incremental achievement. Then we know how to reveal these achievements now by setting their progress to 0. The advantage of these once they're revealed is that they are the exact same as the already revealed achievements. So we're just going to call the same method that we created here on these ones down here. So the last part that we need to do is create this list achievements and description achievements. So we're just going to jump back into achievements again. So we're going to create a public void list achievements. It doesn't need to take any parameters in, but we are going to say social.load achievements here. And you can see that load achievements is an action with a callback. So I'm going to say achievements. And firstly, we're just going to log out to our logtext.txt that we have loaded achievements. And we might just add to this one the achievements.length. And then we're going to need to do a for each. So in this load achievements, you can see that we are loading an I achievement and a list of I achievements. So we're going to say that for each I achievement that we have, we'll call it ACK, in achievements, then what we are going to want to do is we are going to append to our logtext.txt a brand new line followed by the ID as well as the, and we'll just put a space there, as well as whether it is completed or not. So this is going to return a true false of the percentage. So is the percentage 100%? If not, then it is not completed. And then we'll just close that one off. And that's listing our achievements. And now we're going to do basically the same thing to do our descriptions. So I'm just going to copy this to begin with. We'll paste it in, and this time we aren't loading our achievements. We're loading our achievement descriptions. And you can see in here that achievement descriptions doesn't load an I achievement this time. It loads an I achievement description. So I'm going to say for each I achievement description, ACK in achievements. And rather than completed this time, we'll just add title. Okay, so these are all the functions for our buttons, but we're now going to just create methods so that these can be called from the buttons. So we'll call this grant achievement button, and it is going to be calling do grant achievement, and we need to pass in the string. Now the string comes from the GPGS IDs, and we're going to be grabbing just our normal achievement here. So this is our unlock achievement. We're then going to do our incremental one, public void grant incremental button. And this one is going to say do incremental achievement. And again, we're going to be passing in our GPGS IDs. And this time we're going to pass the one that is not hidden. So our incremental one here. public void reveal achievement. We're going to say do reveal achievement on this one. Again, GPGS IDs, and we're going to grab the normal achievement that is hidden, which is this one here. And then we'll grab the incremental version of that. So we're going to say reveal incremental button and do reveal. And we're going to be grabbing the ID that is hidden for incremental. And once we've revealed these two, we just want to then unlock them as well. So we're going to create a public void grant hidden achievement button, which is just going to be a do achievement. And that will be a GPGS IDs again. And we're going to take the hidden achievement, this one here, and grant, and we're just going to say hidden incremental achievement button. And with this one, it's do incremental and GPGS ID, and we're just going to grab the incremental hidden one here. So that was a lot of very similar code, but basically all of these will power all of our buttons. This here is going to list our achievements and list our descriptions. This here is going to actually unlock an incremental achievement. This here is going to reveal any type of achievement. And this here is going to unlock a normal achievement. And finally, this show achievements UI is just going to actually bring up the UI so that you can see what has been unlocked and everything from Google's side. So all that's left for us to do is to hook up each of these buttons. So I'm going to go down here. We're going to change that from being the old button to an achievement function that is going to be show achievements. This unlock achievement is going to be a grant achievement button. Our incremental one is going to be a grant incremental button. Reveal achievement is going to reveal achievement button. Reveal incremental will be a reveal incremental button. Unlock hidden is going to be a grant hidden achievement button. And our unlock incremental button is going to be a hidden incremental achievement button. Our last two are going to be a achievement, and we're going to list our achievements. And this one here is going to be a list descriptions. So we'll save that. And just one last bit of housekeeping. I want to make sure that while this also signs out, I would also like it to just make my sign in panel active, just so I can click through my game, sign out and try again. And also make this achievement button inactive. And we'll do a similar thing on the home panel as well. So we'll add two more buttons here. One is going to be making this sign-in panel active again. And this one is going to be making our, oh, that's home button, our home panel inactive again. Okay, we'll go back to our sign-in panel, and we're going to build settings, and we're going to build this one. We've got our auth one here. I might just call this one achievement, and we'll hit save. Now it's going to build for a little while, and I will see you when that finishes building. Okay, so we're just going to test this now. I'm going to jump into my APK, and we can see that it automatically signs me in as we expect from the previous tutorial. And once it signs me in, it'll bring up that home panel button. I'll click that home panel. I'm just going to open up achievements, and we're going to click show achievements. We can now see that we've got our unlock achievement, our incremental achievement, oh, sorry, and the 2 secret achievements as well. And we've got a total of 4 achievements. I'm going to close that down, and we're going to unlock our first achievement. We can see achievement unlocked, and you can see on the right hand side it just gives you that achievement ID and then lets you know it's true. If I reopen that, we can see I've got 1 achievement unlocked. Incremental achievement, same thing happens. I've got to press this one 3 times because remember we set it up to be 3 times. And I've done incremental as well. I've still got my 2 secret ones. I'm going to reveal and reveal this one as well. Now when I hit show, I've got my hidden incremental achievement. I might have hit that other one a bit too quickly. And that achievement's unlocked. And I've still got my incremental achievement there as well, so we're just going to do that one 3 times. And that'll unlock the last one as well. So we've got all of our achievements achieved, and I can list my achievements, all of them. Well, it brings back the 4 of them and lets me know they're all true, because I've unlocked them all, and the descriptions for each of them. And then we're just going to sign out, and that's it. Alright, that wraps up achievements for this video. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I won't talk about it a lot, but it really does help, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya. As always, I just want to take the chance to thank Bluebase Fafi for the support over at Patreon. Please look me up on Patreon if you're interested in doing the same. See you guys.